What's up, queens? You are here with Black Queens Uncut. Pull out your wine, your vape, or anything you need to relax because we're about to have queen chat. I'm Monique Lovelace, and I'm here with my queen.
Ow, gang, gang.
Say who you are.
Hi, guys. What's up? It's Kiki Boom Boom.
They know who she is. Everybody knows
You
that
his
voice.
deep voice.
That raspy sexiness.
Hey, queens. It's me, Miss Candy Marie.
What's going on? It's TK Trinidad.
And today our episode is about challenges Black women face. And I feel like this is such a big thing, especially in our community. So we're going to get right into it and just talk about what it means to be a Black woman. How y'all feel about that? Like, I feel like that touched my soul.
It's so much.
What does it mean to be a Black woman?
I feel like we need to make it super poetic. To be a Black woman means to be
You got to go in the spoken word.
strong. It means to be powerful. It means to be melanin.
Triumphant.
Means to be superwoman. Means to be that we have to take everybody's ish and keep smiling. Means
Every day.
Every day.
It's exhausting sometimes.
It's very exhausting. It's thrilling. It's amazing. I love being a Black woman. But like TK said, it is exhausting sometimes because we have to fight with everybody. Actually, no.
Not
everybody bothers us.
Mm-hmm.
But Black
Really?
women, yes,
Yes.
everybody bothers us.
You think
Every
so?
girl, we wake up
How
and
many people
bothered
try to
us.
touch
But
your
you
hair?
know why? Because
That's
we
true.
are trendsetters.
Yes.
We're creative. We know how to do our own thing, and we own our shit.
We're
Yes,
the
and
blueprint.
then they try to steal it and then sell it as their own.
Well,
That's
that's
flattery.
That's
That's
another
flattery.
issue.
That's a different.
That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, that's a whole
I'm
nother
sorry.
issue.
Just
I have an
irritated
issue with that too.
Mm.
How do y'all feel about y'all's workplace? How are you treated as a Black woman in your workplace?
I just had this conversation with someone. You guys ever had that moment where you had to code switch it up at
That-
work?
All the time.
Or because you're a Black woman, you want others to feel comfortable. Or so because I have a deep, raspy voice, I sometimes come off a little aggressive. I've been told by non-Black people. So sometimes I felt like, not now. Now I'm in my skin. I love who I am. But I felt like in the past, I would try to make others feel comfortable. And I felt like it wasn't fair. I'm like, why do I got to make you feel comfortable? You make me feel comfortable, damn it.
Yeah, that's
So being a Black woman in the workspace, it's challenging.
You know, I think the thing about being a Black woman is that we're so multifaceted, and being the multiracial white girl of the group, what I've experienced is sometimes I'm not Black enough, or I'm too Black, and that's being, on both sides. So it's interesting, but we do come in all shapes, all sizes, and all colors.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I actually experienced the same thing being from Canada, but it's also being a former athlete. I find that I always have to, because I'm of certain stature, and then don't get me at work because I'm wearing heels. Now I'm taller than everybody else. Now I have to, if somebody's smaller, especially if it's a smaller woman, I have to adjust everything to make her feel comfortable, or I have to adjust everything to make that person feel comfortable. And it's just, it's frustrating that you can't. If I live to my true potential, there's more people who are intimidated versus understanding, the complexity of who I am.
Yeah, I feel like you are different, so you could be misunderstood anyway. It goes. Black, white, green, blue, purple.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
there we go.
TK was so
Shade.
deep just now.
So real.
And here goes Monique. Yeah,
See,
you are
here's-
different.
Here's what happens. Monique is just a hater. She's just a hater. She doesn't appreciate that, I live a different life.
I appreciate
No, you
you
don't.
in so many
Whatever.
ways.
Whatever.
You guys are hilarious.
This
I
is
feel-
great.
I feel like for me, I've been in corporate and on the entertainment side. And honestly, I've had to, you touched on it, Kiki, like about code switching, which I feel like will be a whole different episode because that's something that we really need to touch on. But being in both worlds, it's hard for a Black woman, especially corporate. And when I moved out here, like I'm from Ohio, so we still have the real KKK that walk down the street in the whole outfit. So coming here, I've never felt so Black in my life. Like I literally had to take legal action against companies for discrimination.
What?
And that's the crazy part because I'm quote unquote ghetto
That's
in the
a
corporate
thing.
world. And I'm like, what? And then in the entertainment world, it's like, oh, we love who you are, but you got to lose weight or you got to kind of change the look of who you are. We have such tough skin. We're always the ones who tend to triumph against everything. Like you said, yeah, people are always calling you, but I feel like people always put everything on our backs, especially when it comes to work. we're supposed to be the homemakers. Now we number one, becoming number one entrepreneurs and all types of stuff. And we just work through all of it. But yes, I feel like in the workplace, there's a lot of code switching that we have to do on a regular basis.
That's our fault, meaning that we started that trend of bending over backwards to, make the white people feel safe in the boardroom. Make sure that our husband, we stroke his ego. Make sure that our kids are. Do you feel like we've put ourselves in that box?
Tag me in, Coach.
Tag you.
I think it's because we've had to prove ourselves. We had to prove our worth. We had to prove that we deserve to be there. Mm-hmm. It's because that for the longest, because Black women were the head of the household, because our men were demasculated and they could not be. I think that's where that comes from. I think that along with being a Black woman, you're still also a woman. Yes. So being in male-dominated atmospheres, that's where that proof has to come from. So because we've had to be the head of house, I think that's where that dominance also was engraved within us because it was passed down where we had to be these leaders. So automatically when we step into these rooms, there's just this this energy that just radiates off of us.
Mm-hmm. You better preach. Okay. Sister preacher over there.
Yeah. 2 snaps.
I totally agree. I feel like she said it so eloquently. Like, that is exactly what we've had to do. We've had to prove ourselves. Not only prove ourselves, but we also have to make a living for the kids, for this, for that, for the other. Because there's a lot of single Black mothers as well, which is a whole totally different topic as well. But I feel like that's kind of where it comes from as to systematically and just us having to prove ourselves. What do y'all think about dating? Black women and how
the next subscriber you were trying to reach cannot be located.
In my dating life, I've always gravitated to the football players, but I find with lankier gentlemen gentlemen callers lately, they're definitely feeling, because I'm heavier than what I was when I was running track, etc. And they're definitely, their size is not an issue, and it's great to meet somebody and, 90%.
Be honest.
Are you talking about their penis or their height? What are we talking about here?
She's talking about the penis.
I'm saying they're lankier, meaning that they're more basketball-esque. Like they're small. I didn't like the lankier. I didn't like the skinnier guys because I felt like they couldn't handle my weight.
I got you.
Whereas I've given skinnier guys a chance, and it's just like I appreciate them for appreciating me.
Let me tag me in.
Here we go.
Personally, down south, East Coast, I am a hot commodity. I'm a slim, thick girl. I'm a slim, thick girl.
Girl, you a big thick because you got that big old wagon back there.
I'm real thick, but I'm slim. Slim in the waist, cut in the booty and the boobs. I got assets. I'm in demand. So I get, when I go to East Coast, I go East Coast, Midwest, down South. I feel like dating is cool. West Coast, it's dry. It's like the desert out here. Baby. It's real. It's the desert.
Go to Inglewood.
It's dry for everybody.
Even then, but
thank you, Kiki. Thank you.
Even then, for me, I'm kind of like on the TK boat, like growing up, because I'm a curvy girl. I'm a big girl. She's big curvy. And I'm proud. Skinny guys tend to be more attracted to me, and I used to be so shocked because as a big girl, I mean, a few have told me why, but I feel like as a big girl, I used to be like, damn, skinny dudes don't know how to handle this, and they handled
what they say. I think I already know
all this. I mean, I think because a lot of skinny guys that I've dated, they just preferred curves. They liked all the rolls. They like all the booty. I mean, I don't want to be too try not to be that X-rated.
Now I want to know.
To be X-rated. Because it's discussed.
Sex-wise. Okay, so not me, but I have a friend. if you go on certain porn sites, there's a thing. What is it? Pound. It's like skinnier men who have sex with big women, and it's called something pound. Pound something.
I don't know.
Where a friend told me. I don't know this.
Right.
Where they enjoy having sex with bigger women, because
The punani, the royal cookie.
see, I was trying to like keep it.
Can we
PG.
just get it non-PG, the straight?
The
Because
royal cookie.
The rumor is that
This is
bigger
uncut.
women's vaginas tend to be a little bit more
juicier.
wetter. Can I say that?
Juicier.
And then like when you're doing certain positions and you have like certain body parts and you're curvy, booty, back shots, like, but that's what I've been told.
This is very true. Yeah,
Try to keep it
in my
PG,
heavier,
but it doesn't work.
In my heavier,
No, this is uncut.
in
We
my
can't.
heavier size, I'm able to like adjust and maneuver. But when I was smaller, it's like we can't do all that. It's not gonna work.
That's why it's called pound, because I think it's easy to pound.
She's taking off her jacket, yo.
It's easier to pound the bigger girls.
getting hot in here,
It's a whole, skinnier guys.
Josh is looking at us like, ooh, this is interesting.
I'm just like, what's happening? So I get a lot of skinny guys. So growing, I used to get like tall, skinny guys.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
was
just
like,
started
they can handle
getting
me,
them.
and maybe they've handled me.
Yes,
Can
I missed out.
Yeah, let's let Candy.
Okay, on behalf of all the skinny girls everywhere that have been confused for being their little brother, built like a little boy, you know what I'm saying? Man, okay, well, let me just talk about my difficulties of being a skinny mini growing up in the South, where all the boys want all
Ooh,
the
they wanted you to get
thick
thicker.
girls. Yeah, man, I got turned down a lot growing up because I was so skinny. They were like, you got a cute face, but you ain't got no booty. And I'd be like,
You're like, man.
okay, it's cool, because I'm going to eat my biscuits, and and I did, and I got a little cushion, just a little cushion back there.
For the cushion.
But all my life, wanted to have some curves, and I'm working on my curves now. They trying to ease
We
their
can
way
switch
in there.
if you'd like.
Wait,
Facts.
West Coast, you're good.
Huh?
You're in demand here.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, you're in demand here.
She said, "Ooh, you think
Oh,
so?"
you
you
think so,
don't
sis?
know.
When I first moved out here, I did think, I was like, oh, it's because I'm a big girl. And then I talked to like my slim sisters, my tall sisters,
It's
my
just
light
being
skin, my
black.
dark skin, everyone's like, girl, dating out here is just
Whack.
whack for
It's trash.
everybody. Like,
Trash.
it's trash. So I'm with you on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I think it's more of an economic thing.
Dang.
I don't think it's. I think it's just being in LA and everybody's striving for their careers and all this other stuff. And you have guys who are 40 years old with roommates, and if you go anywhere else, there are men who are 35, 40 living in a house, all this other stuff. I think it's an economic thing, and I think subconsciously they feel like if they can't support themselves, then having a girlfriend and wife.
I don't think they believe that out here.
I think subconsciously.
I think men out here have low self-esteem.
Yes.
And I've listen.
Damn.
The reason why
I
I've
was
come
looking
to
out
this
for y'all.
result is because as of recently, y'all, I've jumped onto dating apps.
Yes. Who, what,
I'm
when, where?
currently, I'm currently on Hinge, and what I've realized
Classy.
is guys are like their self-esteem is so low. Like I'm just sitting
Yeah.
up here reading half the shit that they posted and they saying in the pictures, and they just like their self-esteem. I'm just like, oh my
It doesn't
gosh,
make
like it's so
sense.
thirsty. Like
My friends in our group chat, we literally send my friend, shout out to Alexis, we'll send each other Hinge profiles. And she's like, this doesn't make any sense.
any sense.
So, yeah,
Like
you're
and I have so much fun. Like Xing nope. Like just
Like
reading
swiping
people,
left.
laughing at people, looking at what people are sending me, and it's hilarious. It's so much fun. Like I hated dating apps up until now. Like I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So interacting, how do y'all feel as a Black woman? What are the challenges of interacting with women of another race?
I grew up, I'm from the East Coast, so I grew up very diverse. I have a lot of friends who are not Black, but I will say meeting people who I'm not friends with is very interesting, especially when it comes to hair. As a Black woman, it's funny when I have like braids and it's, how did you get those in there? Or when I would wear my natural curly hair and it'd be like, you must be mixed with something. And so I thought it was really interesting, like trying to interact with other women who were not Black women. But I love everybody, I think as we all do. But again, I think it's like the thing at work where you want other people to feel comfortable. Because I remember there'd be times where I'd hang out with girls who are not Black and I'd feel like, damn, if I say this, are they going to think I'm ghetto? Or if I do this, are they going to judge me? So that's things that I had to evaluate about
I have
myself.
a friend who doesn't eat chicken in front of people who are not.
What?
She's Black.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if you're not
that's
Black, then she doesn't eat
unfortunate.
chicken in front of them.
That's
because of the
crazy.
stereotypes.
That's deep.
I feel it's more white women than anything else that I deal with. Like I've been in situations at work where, I had long braids. And there was somebody came and 3 or 4 women came and started touching my hair. And like now you're in the situation where you're in the workplace and you can't get angry because then you can't be the angry black woman. So it's just one of those things where, I don't know.
Yeah, one of my best friends from high school was actually white. I feel like I taught her more of our culture than anything. Mm-hmm. So I always felt super comfortable around her. I don't feel uncomfortable really interacting with other women of races until they do get to the hair part. And then I'm just kind of like, listen, let me educate you for 5 seconds because I don't want to have to snap on you in a way that's going to send me to jail.
And most times that's really all it is that
it's
like
the hair.
is people just don't know about other cultures because they weren't raised around it. Their family most times is ignorant about it. Again, growing up as somebody who, had white family members and black family members, I grew up with racist white family members that didn't know anything about black people. So like, they were taught that black people were the N-words.
Does it make it hard for you to like make friends since you have racist white family? Did it make it hard for you to make friends with?
What it did do is because I did not have a relationship with that side of the family, it made me grow up feeling like I had something to prove. So I always felt like I had to put my best foot forward until I got to a point where I was working at Disney and I was having an issue with a white female coworker, and she simply just did not like me. And it was because not only was I doing my job, but I was doing my job better than her. And she felt intimidated. So I feel like there is a factor where sometimes people that are the opposite race, when they don't know anything about you, they're intimidated by that. And that to me is just ignorance until they learn what the truth is.
Yes.
Right.
Tag me in. The problem is that they don't have to learn. They are the majority. So we know everything about Friends and all these other shows, and they don't know about Girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where they have to want to learn, and they don't have to learn. And so it's to preface back to my dad's side, shout out to my dad's side, they all married other women outside the race. So I'm used to women outside the race. When I moved to the U.S., when it was a little bit, dicier, but I just think there has to be some type of education in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
to touch on a different race, I had a situation where I had a friend who was Middle Eastern, and I always get the thing where they're like, oh, I love black guys. And I'm like, that's cool.
Oh,
good for
yes.
you. And I don't know if she was looking for me to be like, yes, but of course, black women, we don't care. But she would say little things like, oh, black guys got big dicks. And
I know
so I had to literally love her. And you want to know why I love her? Because literally I pulled her to the side. I said, that's not why you say things like this. And she's like, no, tell me because I don't know. And I gave her a whole education, and she apologized to me because she's like, yo, fam, growing up Middle Eastern, I had no idea. Like, this is just something that I'm not taught. I had no idea that's offensive. I'm like, because now it's a fetish and you're saying inappropriate things.
And it's up to us to teach them.
Exactly. And now she's very careful, and she just told me she appreciated me teaching her that.
And I think I just met somebody that I like her. She's really cool, but she has a few things against her, and I don't know how to, I guess this is a part of the challenge. I guess it's an education because she says the same thing. Oh, I like black guys. I want a black man. She's a former cop. She's a Republican. Like, all the things. But she was really cool when we met. And it was hard. It's hard for me to be like, okay, when is the time to say, hey, girl, let me pull you to the side and say, listen, you need to calm down on all of that. And this is what you need to be educated about. And I think that's sometimes the challenges we face with other races when they're just totally like left side.
Yeah. It's a challenge. I think you just have to know the right place and when to do it and how to
that.
do it.
And sometimes they make you feel like you're the underdog, like you're not as smart as you. They be like, oh, she's black, she ain't that smart. And then when you come through and you got to be like, let me check you. Then we're angry black women, but we're really being passionate because It's like you took us there,
Mm-hmm.
and now that's another a challenge I always feel too. Like, okay, how am I going to check this person?
Yeah.
Or not give them what they want. You know, when people expect a certain thing of you and you debunk their stereotype, I think that most times that's what we do. When we walk into a room and we own it with our confidence and then we open our mouth and we speak so
Yes.
eloquently when people are like, oh my God, you speak so well. Well, how am I supposed to speak?
Right.
Like, why is it that you speak so well and I can't?
Right.
You know, so I think it's just a matter of just like owning who we are and just continue to walk in our greatness.
We're about to go into our superlative segment. I said that right?
Superlatives.
Superlatives. Y'all, I just had to look up that word. I didn't know what it
Oh.
means.
It's okay,
It's
baby.
okay, baby.
It's okay.
I know
We're here
education.
to
I
support
learned
each other.
something every
Black
day.
queens, we here.
We know what you meant.
We know what you meant, sis.
Yes. Okay. So, Candy, take it away.
All right, so we have some fabulous superlatives for you guys today. So I'm going to say the most likely to, and then my amazing co-hosts are going to say who the winner of this superlative is, okay? So most likely to tell it how it is. Drum roll. Goes to
Angela Rye.
Angela Rye.
Queen.
All right, Queen Angela Rye. All right, next up, we have most likely to stand up for herself. Who is that going to, ladies?
This is one of my faves, Meghan Markle.
Ow.
Ow, ow.
Go, girl.
All right, next up, we have most likely to slay the carpet.
This one is my favorite, Rihanna.
Yes.
That was a good choice. All right, ladies, last but not least, I think this one is very important. This is for all of our entrepreneurial trendsetters that are out there changing the game. Most likely to change the game.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Pat McGrath. You were gonna say it. Like,
Who, me?
Oh, okay. I mean,
Well,
I
it's
just figured
the
you
one
know
and only
that.
Pat.
The one
Yes.
and only Pat McGraw, makeup lady. She knows all of our skins.
She's been doing it for a really long time, and now people are starting to get in tune with who Pat is. But Pat has been doing it. She's been
Yeah,
doing it for
Pat
darker skin
Labs.
girl, but she does it for like all complexions.
She does.
But she was one of the first, and she kind of opened that door because now Amon has makeup
she's been
for
having
people
makeup
for
too.
all for everyone of
Kylie.
all skin tones. Rihanna was doing black women. Okay, Rihanna, beautiful gowns. Love her.
She's great.
Also,
But
shout
Pat
out-
started-
she's not black, but Kat Von D too has some really
yes.
great.
Well, this
she
is Black
catered-
Queens Uncut.
I just
so
wanna-
we love you, but
I just want to shout out.
All right, shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Kat.
I didn't say Kat. I just said
Rihanna.
Kat, not Kat.
Okay.
Kylie.
Well, that wraps up our episode this week. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you catch us on all social media platforms at Queens Uncut. And make sure you tune in next Wednesday for our next episode as we're coming, queening and chatting. So tune in. And ladies,
Yes, you guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Yes, Queen. Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie.
And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
and I'm everywhere at It's Money Gloveless. So peace out. Thank you, Queens.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.